This is Rob for Films, and this time I'm going to do a little two-part thing about B-roll and the camera that I use for B-roll, which is the Nikon Z6, and why I use that camera. In my last video I had this really cool B-roll montage at the beginning, and a lot of people commented, had some positive feedback from that, and they wanted to know what camera I use for my B-roll and how I do that, and so I'm going to throw that out there. But also I kind of want to go over how B-rolls evolve in a couple minutes or less, hopefully. Don't hold me to that. Excuse the wind, it's crazy out here. I'm at the park with my son, and you know, he's doing his things with his friends, and so I thought I would knock out some of this video here. Basically, to understand that B-roll, you have to understand A-roll, and A-roll is exactly what I'm doing here. It's a talking head situation. It's me giving you the information, and then while that's happening, B-roll plays over it. It's something that rolls in the background. Here, let me explain this through a little diagram. So say that we're in our nonlinear editor, and we have our viewer here, timeline down here. Let's say that our A-roll, which is our main footage, is in this box right here. Main timeline, all right? But we want to, while the audio is playing from this and somebody's talking, apparently the tree, we want to make sure that we have something else playing. We don't just want to see that person talking, so we'll lay in some B-roll maybe here.
I am lovingly known as a hand-ups program manager, and I guess that consists of a little bit of everything. I'm a little bit in charge of volunteers. I go for grants.
So while the playhead is going, somebody else is talking on this editor right here. Over time, B-roll really became a little bit more than just what you put over the talking heads. Especially with YouTube videos, that started to become a good way to transition between one place and another. You see this a lot in Casey Neistat's videos. Casey Neistat will throw in a bunch of movement.
We've now commenced our descent.
Until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off.
We're in Johannesburg, South Africa right now.
Just got to Zambia.
What B-roll was is kind of changing and evolving a little bit into something new. So the very first time that I noticed that B-roll had kind of become its own thing, its own entity, and it was something that people were just trying to get by itself. They throw some music with it, almost like a little music video with some really cool effects. It was probably from Peter McKinnon. I'm sure it was done before that. That's just the first time I really noticed it as, hey, this is its own entity. He talks about it a lot. His B-roll challenges with his friends. And so since then, I've really kind of gotten into it too. I think it's really cool. I think it's more than just a time lapse. It's more than just a little bit of movement for transition. You time them with the music. It's almost like a little mini music video for, 5 to 30 seconds or something like that. And it's really enjoyable to make, and it also gets you much better at what you're doing as a filmmaker, and allows you to do some various things without having to have actors or anything like that involved. See Xander? Here's Xander. He's hiding. Whew, it's hard to find that wind today. Okay, I think it's pretty commonly known that I'm not brand specific in any way, shape, or form. I don't care if it's Sony, Canon, Nikon, GoPro, Insta360, I don't care what it is. I will use any camera that gets the job done. So keep that in mind as I'm talking about this, is that I'm pretty familiar with most cameras, and so there's a reason that I'm choosing this one as my go-to B-roll camera. All right, so anytime I'm choosing equipment, I'm looking for 3 things. Number 1, it's got to be easy to use. Okay, I'm not looking to make my life more difficult. 2, it's got to save me time. Number 3, it's got to look great. I want it to look really good. That's what I'm looking for whenever I choose any tool for any job. I want to start off by saying that I know that all B-roll doesn't have to be slow motion, and that's okay. I'm going to show you how to do the setup so that you can get the slow motion, but you can always speed that up later if you want to do some kind of, I don't know, speed ramping or just go regular speed with it. That's fine. If you already have it in slow motion, it's going to save you time to do that in post. But the cool thing about the way I'm going to show you is that it bakes the slow motion in, and so unless you wanted to go full speed, you wouldn't have to do anything extra. It's just ready to go right where it's at. So pull up my camera, and let me show you how to do that. First thing you do is press the menu button and it takes you to the menu, and then you just go down to the video icon, little camera. You go over and it puts you into the frame size and frame rate area. At that point, you can look through all the different frame sizes and frame rates. It's quite a selection there for everything from 4K 30 to 1080, 120, which is what I would normally use for slow motion. And what I plan on using, even on this camera, unlike some of the other cameras like the Canon 1DX Mark II, it'll do 120p in 1080 and have sound. All right, I'm gonna scroll down until I get to my normal go-to is the 1920 by 1080 for 24p. And then when I looked in here, I found, didn't know it was gonna have this, but I found this 24p by 5 slow motion. This is the one that you want to click, okay? Get that one, and then you're set. So you can see how easy it is to set up this camera. The other beautiful thing is I can hand this camera in that setting to anyone that's never used it before and have them go out and shoot some B-roll or some slow motion. A lot of people that have never done that before got very excited. I had my friend Cole, my friend Kenny, and Todd even is now using it quite a bit for some of his picture stuff as kind of a side thing that he can give people. And everybody really enjoys it. He actually got a really cool shot of my daughter one day playing volleyball. And I really appreciated that. That was pretty neat. All right, so I'm sitting here in front of my computer. Let me show you some of the work that some of these guys did very first time they used this camera. Let's check it out. You can tell by those shots that it already looks great, which is number 3 on my list. And then number 2 is that it saves me time. Well, it saves me time because it's already baked in. I don't have to do anything special with the footage. I can pop it in there, throw a little color grade on it, and it's ready to roll. Hey guys, hopefully you found that pretty useful for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's something that you were interested in, or maybe it's something that you're interested in buying. Either way, just know that the Nikon Z6 is a B-roll beast. It'll save you a ton of time, it looks great, and it's really easy to use. Keep that in mind. Well, if you found this useful at all, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I'll be coming out with more content. I'll be hitting 1K pretty soon, hopefully. Kind of a good and a bad thing. I promise to do another one of those horrible SoundCloud rapper videos if I ever hit 1K. So yeah, my students are getting excited to see me in that get up again. So this has been Rob for Films. I'm gonna go out and battle some more of that wind, and see you next time.